Hey Leslie.
Hi, how's it going?
It was great, your show. 101 Rules for a Better World by comedians.
Thank you.
I loved the banter. It was the best way to start a Monday morning.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. Thanks, I love it. It's not always at this time. Last year we were on in the afternoons, but we've had a lot of repeat customers, so it works regardless of time. But it's a nice way to start a Fringe day.
It is. It set me up in the right mood to move forward from here.
That's so cool.
You know, there wasn't anything heavy.
Yeah.
You know, you think it could potentially be heavy. 101 Rules for a Better World. But you kind of set the guidelines out for keeping it in that fun, light-hearted space.
I realized early on we needed to have a no murdering clause. So we've told all our panelists, like, we're here to solve big trouble.
Big trouble.
Fix it in the attic.
Yeah.
They're here to solve like small to medium problems, because otherwise it would become like any other talk show. It would become very political, become very serious and somber.
Well, my podcast, we can go very, very deep at times.
And deep is fine, but it's amazing the amount of passion people bring to subjects that are often like minutiae. Like you and I, we just walked past Mark Thomas on the street. Lovely Mark Thomas, one of my favorite comedians. He was on last year. And one of his rules that did pass was that there should be confetti cannons everywhere. And anytime someone has something positive to celebrate, they can just let one off. Brilliant. Now, Mark Thomas is one of the most political comedians. He has really good thoughts on really deep subjects, but also he embraced the fun of the show. People loved it. He got voted in very, very readily. Like, people loved it. So it's about, like, there's so many ways in the world that people can be negative. There's a lot of outlets for negativity. And frankly, that's not me. I just want a way. It's almost like it was conceived as almost the opposite of Room 101. Mm-hmm. You know, in Room 101, which is based on the George Orwell book, 1984.
Yes. And I often reference that. I often think of those things
that you get rid of.
Yeah. But I've got the list.
It's a good list. But instead of getting rid of stuff, which can be positive, but what's more positive than coming up with rules to make the world better? So bringing in rules. So there's been some really good ones. A lot of people have focused on sidewalk etiquette, pavement etiquette. That's been popular. Headphone etiquette also.
It seems to me a lot of interaction with other humans is very important.
It does come into play quite a lot, but there's also been rules about, like, people who say I like dogs better than people. That's come up. There's some a comedian who I believe is allergic to most animals put forward a rule that you could have. You know those invisible leads for invisible dogs that kids' toy? You can have one of those for any animal. You can always carry it with you. So this is a person who loves animals but can't be around them, and she's got to go work around. Yeah. How clever!
Yeah.
And it does. And the reason I want comedians on the show is because comedians are some of the most elastic thinkers I know. Mm-hmm. They'll think around the subject. They'll come up with the same ideas as most people, but that's what they call Route 1 in comedy. And then they'll go, no, that's too easy. Then they'll think of something else. So they'll build on it, or they'll tweak it, or they'll change it. And then we get the audience involved, and they have ideas as well. So sometimes the rule we vote on isn't the rule that the comedian came prepared with. No. So it's so fun.
Yeah, and it was a fun room to be in, because I could hear people talking a little bit amongst themselves, like, oh, but what about this? What about that? And they wanted to contribute to the conversation. So I wonder then, as you've been kind of like on this journey, doing this and seeking out these rules, I wonder what the lightest rule is you've found that would make the biggest impact.
Oh, I wish you'd told me you were going to ask me that. I could have looked, because we have, me and my producer Nick, we have a list, a running list of all the rules we've passed. And you've also caught me in mid-Fringe. We're
of
middle
course,
of the Fringe.
No.
Sleep is a commodity.
It's all a blur, isn't it?
It does feel like day 436. I'm having a lovely Fringe. I've got no cause for complaint. But beautiful audiences, and every day we pass a load of rules. My other show is doing well. So I'm not complaining. But I'm maybe not as sharp as I would normally.
No, that's absolutely fine. And I'll tell you with my questions, I never know what questions I'm going to ask until I'm here. So they just come to me as we speak.
Yeah, and actually in the show, one of the things I think sets this show makes it a little bit different is we don't just vote, because the audience votes. If you don't know, the audience votes on the rules, and they don't just vote if you're in favor, cheer now. I give them something unique to the rule to vote on. Mm-hmm. So earlier today, one of the rules was about ambulance sounds, and so the audience had to make an ambulance sound to vote in favor of it. And so that kind of thing, people really seem to like that and get involved. But the lightest role, I think, we've had a lot around food. But one of mine last year was don't serve me a pastry on a napkin because then it renders the napkin useless. Right? Do you know what I mean? When you get a croissant and it's lovely, but it's made with lots of butter, and they put it on a napkin, and don't give you another napkin.
Or something really greasy, like they put cheese and ham in it, and then the ham is like all dripping out, and the cheese is dripping out.
And then sticks to the napkin, and you haven't got a napkin to clean your face with, which is, last time I checked, the purpose of napkins. So yeah, stuff like that. It doesn't really mean anything in the big picture. And actually, I'll tell you this, earlier this week we had Philip Son, brilliant comedian, on. I shouldn't tell you because it's not out in the podcast yet. His rule was, when you go to the bar and order Diet Coke, it is not acceptable for the bar staff to say, oh, we've only got Diet Pepsi, is that okay? So that means nothing to anyone really, aside from Philip. And I think it passed, weirdly. So it's not consequential, but it's the kind of stuff that people can relate to. We've had a lot of stuff around names, people forgetting names, people wearing name tags. We've had some stuff around, lots of badges have come up. Like you can wear a badge that says, I don't want you to talk to me right now. That kind of thing. Yes. So badges have come up, lots of names, lots of everyday stuff that if you had to boil it down, most of the rules are around, don't be a dick. Yeah. Like that's most of it, but in very specific ways.
Yeah. That's interesting you say that, don't be a dick, because on my episode 100, that's the title of it.
Oh, good.
We had this whole episode, and we did a group of us, 6 of us in the conversation, and we got T-shirts afterwards. Don't be a dick.
I want one.
It's just so simple, isn't it?
It is so simple, but it's about, and the show brings out in the comedian minds like the different ways that represents itself in everyday life. Like, don't be a dick when you're walking down the pavement. The example we're releasing this year was originated by Ignacio Lopez last year at the Fringe, which was that pavement should have different lanes for different speed walkers. And that is very popular. And
especially here in Edinburgh.
Especially here in Edinburgh. But I'll tell you what, we do the show year round in various locations. And that rule has come up by 6 other comedians since. And so we've now told them in the briefing email, don't do that one. We've already got that's covered. But it is such a simple thing like sidewalk etiquette. Sorry, I'm American. Pavement etiquette it's the kind of thing that affects everyone every day. Mm-hmm. But we've had some disabled comedians on, and their perspective is really interesting. So I don't know if you know Jake Donaldson. He's a visually impaired comedian. And some of his rules were around pavement etiquette, but in regards to not being able to see where you're going. So it really helped the audience to kind of put themselves in his shoes. And I think his role, if I recall correctly, sorry Jake if I'm misquoting you, was that everybody has to walk around for a day as if they're blind. So with an eye mask or whatever, just to experience
just to
what
have
people
that
like
empathy.
Yeah.
Just so we can see or not see
exactly.
that other perspective.
Yeah.
So Leslie, I wonder if you can help me then with that question that I offer everyone on the podcast. How would you make this a better world?
I mean, it's very easy to say don't be a dick, but I think we all have things that we do and we know we shouldn't do them. We know. But the show was originated because all my life I've always said, when I'm running the world, I'll do whatever. Mm-hmm. And I realized that other people all think this way. And I think it's a good route into empathy. Mm-hmm. So if something bothers you, I think it's good to go, well, maybe look at yourself with a hard light on and go, am I doing that? Maybe I shouldn't do that. And so I think if we all stop once in a while and go, well, when I'm running the world, I'd like this to happen. And then try to live up to our own standards.
Wonderful. Well, there's one last question I've got for you.
Okay.
And it's something perhaps help me with. So while I've been here in Edinburgh this time for the Fringe, I've discovered something new. I'm on a bit of a quest to see where my questions take me. And so everyone I'm meeting them, I'm asking them for the question for the next person I met. So the last person that I met had no idea who you was. It was just something they were curious about. And so their questions have sometimes been deep, and sometimes been stupid, and sometimes been nonsensical. And so the last person I met said to me, what's your favourite roller coaster?
Oh, fun. Is that what you're asking?
That's what I'm asking you.
My favourite roller coaster is, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's in New Jersey where I'm from, and it goes upside down and around a lot. I can't remember the name of it. It's a Great Adventure at Six Flags, New Jersey. But side note, I also when I was a kid, I used to go to a place called Action Park, which has been the subject of a documentary called Class Action Park,
Yes,
so
I've seen
many-
it.
Yeah,
Isn't that the one with the water
yeah,
slides,
water slides and people dying.
People
Yes.
dying, people losing legs.
That was my childhood
Oh, wow.
summer adventure. I came out of there unscathed. So that's a great question. I love a roller coaster, but what would you have done if I said I don't go on roller coasters?
Well, I guess I'd have dug deeper with that. So why don't you? Why don't you?
I do like roller coasters, but I've discovered that I can't go on wooden roller coasters. Like the old.
Yeah, here we go. We'll wait for the siren. We had that today, didn't we? And it's true.
Very loud, and it needs to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny you ask what would I do with the question if the question doesn't work out. Because I've also discovered this is pushing my personal boundaries as well. Someone asked me one that was quite crude.
Okay.
And so I had to take that to someone, and I found that really hard to approach that person. Luckily, their show was a crude show.
Okay.
So there was kind of
So
there was an in, but she was such a sweet girl. But so I tried to brace her as much as possible, and she played.
Okay.
You know, she played with the question, so hopefully she doesn't think I'm a creep.
I mean, I've answered very straightforward. My favorite roller coaster is the one I went on when I was a kid. And actually, I'm not a kid anymore. I don't know if that shows. And I don't have the capacity for coasters that I used to.
No, they make me all of a sudden, in the last couple of years, it starts to feel like I've come off of them with a headache.
Well,
like my brain's been
yeah.
mucked up. And,
Well, I think your brain does get rattled around
Yeah.
in your skull. And so I can't go on wooden roller coasters because they're worse than metal coasters. Metal coasters are smoother. Wooden coasters are more.
Right.
So like the Cyclone at Coney Island, which is one of the oldest, maybe the oldest roller coaster in America. Probably not. I used to love that. I can't go on it. Just can't do it. But I don't go on coasters that much anymore. I live in London. And life in London is roller coaster. Life as a comedian.
You only have to go on the Central line. Have you been on the Central line recently?
That's my least favorite line.
Yes.
But I only went full time as a comedian about 6 months ago, and this has been a roller coaster, no lie.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a comic, just pick me up. Sorry.
So Leslie,
Shameless
what
plug.
that's what we're here for as well. So what question would you like me to take forward? What are you curious about?
I would like to. Is it all comedians you're talking to?
No,
Or is
I'm
it all
talking. No,
performers?
it's human beings. I could. You have no idea where I'm going to go next. I have no idea where I'm going
Amazing.
next.
Okay,
So it could be someone in a coffee shop, or it could be someone on the street.
I mean, I suppose I would ask what I ask in my show is, what rule would you come up with? So if you were running the world, what would you bring in? Because I think that's a really open-ended question. I think there's not a person alive who hasn't thought that at some point. So that's my question for you next interview.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one.
Thank you.
Well, thanks again, Leslie. Thank you so much. And so, where can we find your podcast?
The podcast is on Acast or wherever you get your podcasts. Hold on, truck on by.
He's doing it on purpose, isn't he?
I think he's stalking us. Oh my god. Okay, great. The podcast is called 101 Rules for a Better World by Comedians. It's on Acast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the podcast. If you type in 101 Rules for a Better World, you'll find it. And you can find me at Leslie Gold Comedy on Instagram.
Great, wonderful.
Thanks so much.
Thank you
Martin.
so much, Leslie. And if anyone's been watching or listening to this conversation, we appreciate you for joining us.
Thank so much.
Thank
Good
you.
fun. Bye.
Bye bye.